Bulk of this presence moving up mid now. You've got the two boundary players in PR and Towson. But this stack, they're moving up the middle. And Maka might just be ready to receive them. A little bit of a skirmish here as they're taking out that mid player. Now they're grabbing on towards the site. Lucky looking for the shots. Going to be able to find two. That's going to make this possible for his team. But as players get plucked away, XOCs has to hold on to this ground. And he does so ably. PR is completely separated from the team. So while they drop the bomb on down, eventually they're going to realize this was a lurk. PR is coming from downtown here. Let's see if he can clutch this up. Just the clock, has the armor. The pop off a shot, reveal his presence, and now he's got two to contend with, and XOCs will land the killing blow.
Yep, 5 players moving down bridge here for GamerLegion. They got the one Deagle, hoping that that's going to connect with something, and it does. Look, Rez gets that shot onto Lucky after Lucky drops ETR. That's an M4 on the ground. They're going to try and recover and just probably snowball into this A site would be my guess. Maka and Exercise trying to take care of business, but it is looking pretty good here for GamerLegion. At the very least, could be a bomb plant as they're trying to fend off these last 3 players, and I don't think they'll be able to, Mike. It's Tossin standing on his head, but it's not nearly enough, and it will be Body and Maka to close things out.
Massively successful round, though. 3 kills and a bomb plant. You came in with 1 Deagle and Glocks? Look at this from 3D Max. They've gained the canals. There's somebody holding the flank. ZTR, though, cannot win it. Now they're in trouble. Towson traded. Means that this Cape push is never going to come through. That's a very good timing coming through for 3D Max. Going to make this B defense a lot more viable. So they've gained the pizza. They might find that slice comes with a heavy cost. And look at the health. It's just gone. Annihilation as the defense holds for 3D Max.
3D Max have to see if it continues for them, because GamerLegion do have a buy up here, and finally the AWP is out for A-Core, so we'll see what he can do up against Maka, who's been kind of having his way with GamerLegion, although a lot of those frags came on the anti-eco. We'll see if he can win the duel with A-Core, if it even comes up. Towson going out here, looking for an opening duel. Doesn't find it. In fact, he does, but he loses it completely thanks to a great flashbang thrown by Maka. And you have a 5v4 in favor of 3D Max, Mike.
And that's that exact proactivity. Put up your own smoke, flash your way through that smoke, take the space. Know that they're probably playing with a lurker, have a good idea of what they want to do. There's the flashbang, there's this swing. Fortunately for GamerLegion, a 2-for-1 trade on that means that a bomb can finally be planted. We've actually got a post plant here, but keep an eye on Lucky. He's got all the nadage. HE's a little late. Player got off the plant spot, and Raz collected in middle. That patience from Maka pays off. And so ZTR knows he has to make a move. You can't just leave PR and B main to make this work. And ZTR cannot win his fight. It all falls to the upper. Work done. Smoke up. Block your vision. Good luck, PR. This is a prayer. Goes the AK for the spray down, but hasn't found the diffuser just yet. Might think he has it, but no. The round snatched away. Killed 2 players. Thought surely one of those had to be on the bomb.
Body. Maka taking the early damage from the util here. And you see Maka wants to go for this peek. A-Core's waiting for it. A-Core, can he get it? No! Maka wins the duel. Oh, that's so unfortunate. The first time we get to see those ops against each other, A-Core loses it, and pretty handily at that. As it will be a 5v4 in favor of 3D Max. Bomb going to be recovered here by ZTR. And they want to reset a little bit to GamerLegion.
Understandable. Might want to reset back to 0-0, frankly, because this is just not going their way. Nothing like coming out of a long break like that, being like, all right, we have an op now. And then just immediately, A-Core gets dunked upon. Nades are harassing here as well, just chipping them down. Body starting to drop. Rez at least gets one back through the smoke. Lucky out of play, but there's still presence here in mid, so they might think there's space. But XOC, he says no. A push out from Cave here. Towson finds the first, but does he expect the second to be through? He does indeed. Nice clear out coming through from Towson. And now it's looking very nice indeed. Space on towards B, a plant potential, and this is falling apart for 3D Max.
Wow, it was a great start too. They got that opening frag onto the upper, and all of a sudden Towson comes out, gets 2 critical frags, and they walk onto the vacant B site. Money-wise, it's not that great for 3 of the 5 players here on 3D Max, and my feeling is, given the posturing for exercise right now, that they're going to go for the save, and it is the correct call. So finally, GamerLegion get a round off the board thanks to some great work from Towson.
GamerLegion want to test it. They were thinking about it. Would be a risk, but they do want to NB here, and there's only 2 players in the defense. So first kill found on a body. It's looking very good. Graffiti's got to go ham. Finds 2. Gives them a chance at the very least, but still more work needs to be had. And XSC's finding some space here back at the obelisk. He'll find himself quite punished. He's gone, and that should be the chances of the round gone as well.
I don't know. It feels like 3D Max still want to have a look here, and that will encourage them even further as ZTR takes a step too far outside of B main. 2v2 now. PR looking for a follow-up here, and he will get it. Lucky drop. That will convince Maka, I imagine, to back off. You're just going to spam a few bullets through the smoke and deter them from pushing him. But that is him on a mission to save the AWP. So another good round coming through from GamerLegion, recovering well, getting control of that B site, and PR the one to deliver a couple of frags this time. Chaos at one point, though, and in credit to GamerLegion for fighting through it. Getting a little bit of something on this T side, but this is another important round. I'd say a 6-6 is what they absolutely need. Maka finds the opening immediately on A-Core, who has had no impact so far with the AWP.
Oh, he's been getting deleted. Getting erased. Maka's pretty quick on that trigger, so he's a tough guy to be going up against, and they're consistently finding each other. A lot of times we talk about it, Oppers most often wind up hunting rifles, but this time seems to be a sniper's duel. Graffiti committing! I like the idea, but this time it's going to cost him. ZTR able to fend him off. Trying to go for a little bit of a smoke pop, but that actually just winds up giving them the tracers. XSC's was there on the flank. Finds 2, cleans out the cave, and the E-box gives his teammates a chance to breathe. Rez is going to look to create here. XSC's, there's no crowd yet. That doesn't work yet.
Yeah, seriously.
Gotta wait.
Well, he's having fun.
Making his predictions. He has found his contact. That's Rez. That's the bomb spotted as well. So that's some information given over with only 35 seconds as well. PR still trying to work this B control. Gonna wind up deleting Maka. What a shot. Confidence peaks out. This guy's so crispy. But that's gonna call the bomb back over. They might expect this to be the lighter site. And there's still 2 players here in defense. So PR's got to do work. And shot down at the wrong moment. Rez committed now 20 seconds. 2 players to find Molotov in his face. Well, it's just an incendiary actually. So a chance to make something of this, but a chance denied.
Yeah, a really good hold there from GamerLegion. Unfortunate again for, sorry, from 3D Max. Unfortunate again for GamerLegion.
Aggressive control here from XOC's. Gonna try and overwhelm him. They got a good idea, but there's that push out of cave as well, so it's a 2-part approach. And GamerLegion deal with it ably. That's a tough setup at times, but they wait out the initial burst of util so that they've got a little bit more comfort to go for it. And the aggression is costly here for 3D Max. But when this team gets caught out in their aggression, well, they double down. That's what they're about. And A-Core, now, there we go. First landed op shot. The juice is flowing.
That's all you need sometimes, right? Just one shot to connect. He gets the nerves out of there, because certainly there's some nerves for him. He wants to perform when he hasn't been on a big stage for quite some time, and he wants to contribute to his squad. So finally connecting that shot will loosen him up a bit. Body and Graffiti are still here towards the B side, and this is where GamerLegion are executing towards. This will be trouble, Mike.
Graffiti holding the line. Health getting very low here. This is a doable 1v2. Body finds the first. Now it's just Towson. No health, no bomb planted. No time either. Molotov spread gives a little bit of a tick. Makes Body uncomfortable, but he just needs to land 1 bullet, and he knows it. Towson just trying to play peekaboo around the corner of this obelisk. Needs to find the flank. It's desperation here, and now out of time, out of chances. That's a first round on an insult to injury. Towson dropped.
After time.
Maybe the moment to do that was a few rounds ago. Maka on the line, likely going to have some opportunities here. As he actually backs away and adjusts. Tips them off to where he is, but aggression out A main. Works out beautifully for Towson. Trades out PR, gives them some space, gives them a route in towards a bomb plant as well. And as Maka has repositioned, they knew he was out towards Temple, so they have no fear of the op being just around the corner. Holding this at bay. It's the last round, so obviously 3D Max are going to go for this, but this is a very unfavorable retake scenario, even more so as a Smoke Bloom's camera. Maka has to connect on this next round of Fade. They get some space, make some, at least in the channel between the smokes, but losing Maka means it's all in the body. First one found. 2 more targets. Plucked above the box. He does so. Body. He's making this possible. Molly to force the peak, but Towson is good for it. Massive round from Towson to give GamerLegion a chance. We'll be right back.
13-0'd by FaZe, 13-5 against Aurora, but still, even throughout all of that, they've got a 55.6% win percentage on their T rounds, and on CT rounds, actually only 30%. For them to get 8 in that first half with only a 30% win rate on CT rounds, that's fantastic, and I just don't see a path back in for GamerLegion. We're going to see Lucky get a couple here to make the case for 3D Max even more as a 4v3 advantage materializes.
A little bit of an exchange. Through the smoke they go in towards A. Towson can't hold on. He had some really big moments in the first half to make rounds possible. Can think of at least two rounds that were strictly up to Towson to make a possibility, but this time can't hang. Unres removed, spotted, 1v4, totally away from the team. I'm actually surprised by how aggressively they're moving out with 3 players. Oh my goodness. It'll work out. They hunt him down. No quarter given here as 3D Max just continue to flow into every fight they can find.
A critical round, no question. And I think 3D Max, yeah, they've upgraded past those Mac 10s.
They have. Well, they didn't bring any through.
Oh, that's right.
They
Yes,
dropped both. Right. So no need for that. Nice early damage. PR down to 1 HP. Stay away from those flames. PR. Run, PR, run. He's out of there. Repositioning here, but losing the player in towards the middle means that this gets even tougher. I mean, this might just be a save. It's absurd to say because of the scoreline that we're looking at, but how do you expect to get
There's no choice. You don't. I mean, look, you have 1 HP for PR, and Towson and A-Core do have the full health, but there's nothing you can do. You've already lost B site. You've got to go for the save if you want to even have a chance of coming back into this one. But to be honest, it kind of already feels over, Mike.
Yeah.
3D Max have really been having their way with GamerLegion.
I do like, this is just a nice thing to say for 3D Max. Sometimes we just define them as hyper-aggressive in all situations, and you can see in this round they're not. Because every gun they drop at this point is going to be another dagger in the back of the GamerLegion. Even just 1 for 5 here would be worth it on the exchange. First body drops, a second as well. It falls to PR with 1 HP to try and go play hide and seek.
Oh my goodness.
He's going to make it through. So now, having had that initial utility exchange, knowing that every bit of nadage that comes out here for GamerLegion is going to be so dear, now 3D Max start to work the control in towards middle. GL have stacked up 2 here. That Sprite doesn't find home. And actually, Rez is going to be able to catch the first. So a little bit of an off angle here. Unexpected, but as he tries to double dip, he finds his hand gets slapped away. Towson painted into a corner, eliminated, drop down. A-Core brings back 1 at the least. I don't know that that's enough here. And as A-Core is taken out of play, ZTR feels he has to be the hero. It's been a quiet map, but if there's time to step up, it's here and now.
Ooh.
Bomb spotted, drop down, good damage done into a 2-on-2. He's giving them a chance. And burning, so he has to give up the angle. And look at this. They're not going to know that PR has actually slid into the gap at A. This could catch them off guard. This could be huge. PR repositions all the way out towards main. Here on the fountain. Just got to pick his timing. Got to find his moment. But if that bomb goes down... Oh, they played it safe from him. Good awareness. So PR, he can punish as the player gets off of that bomb, but he can't hold on past that. And now it comes down to a duel. ZTR cannot hold on. Map point for 3D Max. The lights are turning out here for GamerLegion on Anubis. Towson slides out just as they fill the space. Able to get that smoke down somehow unpunished as well. No real damage lost, so that is excellently done from Towson. And a fight here in middle. It's a 1-for-1.
That's tough, though. This is GamerLegion hoping to get an advantage. At least they get the trade, right? But this still favors 3D Max.
The question's going to be this fight between PR and Lucky when the smoke fades out B main. They're currently threatening A, and actually going through. That was so bold, but again, he manages to get the trade. And now they've realized where the light site is. Based on the numbers that were stacked up, based on the utility that they were seeing, they've got a very good idea that space is being afforded to them. And it is just PR. His vision slightly blocked by the smoke. Maka will plant that bomb around him. Does PR make a move now, or does he wait for his teammates to get here? He tries to make the move, tries to be the hero. And now they might just wind up with 0 in this half. Towson. Desperation denied. 3D Max smooth sailing through on Anubis. 13-4. It is dominant. It is GamerLegion's pick, as we previously defined. 3D Max going to move the bulk of the presence on towards B. Pretty normal setup. Body a little bit of the Joker piece here moving around. But now it's Maka who catches a kill. Space and a spot and a second found as well. Oh, this is very nice indeed for 3D Max. And it goes from bad to worse for GamerLegion as they lose the cave fight. Means that it's on to just Towson and A-Core to try and make this happen. Towson's position revealed, and he wasn't able to find the kill in the process. He will on the second swing, and A-Core brings one back, and suddenly we have a round, John. And they've gone so quick that there's still plenty of time, but it's going to have to be A-Core. He's going to have to clutch this up. He could get a bomb. We could see right now that there's a window to get a bomb plant, but he wants to see if he can't get a kill first. So A-Core moving out into the donut. Might have just missed his window to plant that C4, and he'll miss his window to win the round.
This time they're just kind of letting it go.
You're going to throw the consistent util, right? That's going to create the expectation of the aggression, but this is actually where they take it. They take the B main control, and they've got the player pushed up on tree. Shadow's spotted now, so Exorcist knows he's able to catch the first, but they're not going to expect the second player to be boosted up, and that's exactly what Bowdy is counting on. He's dropped the bomb. Now he gets slipped in towards A main, so these players, they gained all the space in towards mid, but it was all a trap, all to lure them in. Brilliantly designed, and it's up to Rez to now try and solve this puzzle.
Oh, it really was. Oh, it's so beautiful, though. Like, obviously, that second player not expected body, so he's good for at least one. You'd maybe think the trade comes through, but no, he even gets that second frag as well. And then they walk right out of Donut thinking, okay, we can engage with that guy. There's no way they have a third player on the A site, right? Wrong. Maka's waiting right outside the Catacombs exit, and he manages to get one. It's so beautifully done.
We got to lock in. Rez is giving himself a chance here. The Molotov makes it difficult. Trying to recover this, trying to retrieve it, to get towards the C4, using his bullets just to pin in body. The plant is going to be the real test. And yeah, as he's wasting more time with this A main fight, he lost his chance, and he'll lose the fight as well.
3D Max win another important round, and GamerLegion are relegated down to pistols. They do have the hero Galil coming through, and body's already been dropped by said Galil. That's really nicely done.
Maybe a misread, not expecting that hero rifle to come through, but still not having enough timing. Now it's dropped. But a tank landed on Gravity. The player's being plucked away in towards mid. Maka with that op. He was ferocious on Anubis. He's going to be much the same here. Lucky overextends, gets punished. Slapped on the wrist for it. Now, the Gravity's so low here. The HEs are risky, but they don't find him. It's Maka who's trying to come in to support his teammate. Gravity playing off the flashbang, beautifully spotting up the last. And that spot will let Maka hit the shot. I mean, these are the moments where these young guns can create, but Monskin gets stifled all too quickly. They gain space on A, but into the donut fight. A 1-for-1. Looks out in their favor. Do they expect Body to still be here? Graffiti plucked. The op still here. The bomb dropped down. Players in middle, but for the moment, Towson has to work as a solo unit. No. Back into Body. Oh, that's a disaster. There's nothing that PR and Rez can really do about this. They've got a minute to try and figure out how to get back into the action here, John, but they're so separated.
It's tough for Towson too, right? Because he's trying to rejoin with his teammates, and he can't really get there. He knows that there's probably a fight waiting for him, and he's stranded with the bomb. In the end, Body outplays him there in Donut, and now, yeah, it's a real difficult task up ahead for PR and Rez to try and recover this bomb. Body gets mollied out of position, so there's a good frag to come through. Down to a 2v2, 40 seconds left. They've still got time, but they've got to get a move on, and Maka is holding the line here towards the A site, which feels like the ultimate destination. Maka misses the shot, has to retreat into Catacombs. This could lead to a bomb plant now, and look where Lucky is on this flank. Uh-oh.
Oh boy, that's that C4 dropped again. So no chance at the plant. They had the moment. They created the space. Rez has created the window, but PR sticking around behind. Means it's right back to the drawing board. Nearly finds Maka. Look, the health is low, but once again, this is similar to that A main clutch. There's just not enough time. 10 seconds. 8 seconds. They might just give him the space, but he tries to slip into one more fight. And Rez, you just do not have enough clock.
Counter-terrorists win.
Oh, man. That is,
Not finding it quite yet. This one was looking like more traditional mid utility, but they don't actually go into it. Behind the smoke for the moment. Here comes the brawl. Here comes the spray. Rez able to catch one. This hero rifle working out. Rez showing us what we needed. Talked about him being maybe able to individually light the way. And it's still going to require him. ZTR out of play. XOC's filling back in that space, and Rez gone. Those rifles dropped down, but they've rerouted. They've drawn everyone from 3D Max into this defensive B, and that means that there's a chance to get this bomb planted. Now, whether they can defend it once it's down, that's a different question, but at least for the moment, A-Core, if he gets a move on... Oh, no, he's coming back. Oh, no! The window missed again! And PR spotted. They know where he is. He's going to land that shot, but there's so much more work to do here for PR. That deagle can be lethal. We know that. And they're going to give him the space to retrieve the C4.
he wants a gun first, which I guess makes sense. I probably would have recommended something other than the op, but that's what was available for him. Let's see if he can get into the bomb site.
Were those footsteps in Donut heard? I believe they were.
Yeah, maybe.
I think Body has
Either
awareness.
way, he's still got such a tough path. No matter where he goes, he's going to run into someone, and Exorcist is going to have an easy one here. He's got all the information. That'll do it. 6-0 for 3D Max. Like, I mean...
The window was just missed. Body, that's a fortunate break for him.
Okay. One back.
Put an op on the line. Shot missed. Advantage here for GamerLegion. Desperately needed. If they split him towards B, well, there's not a whole lot of defenders left. Gravity. Erased. ZTR. Putting the team on his back in this one. Amak is just going to have to save. Unless.
They're trying to fight him. Yeah, they do win that duel with A-Core getting that frag and probably going to grab the op off the ground. So there's the free upgrade to the AWP. That was the most convincing round we've seen so far from GamerLegion throughout this entire series. So going to be behind ZTR as they look to push potentially through this smoke. They've got the flashes. You'd think they want to use it, but right now, playing contact off the fade. Risky. Flashbang goes in. They do win the opening duel here, Mike. ZTR onto Gravity. They know Lucky's here. I think they do, and they wipe him off the map. That said, Maka activates for one, swings around, can't get a second. This is looking great for GamerLegion.
It is indeed. It is indeed. Lighting their path back into this. With PR on the other side of the map as well. Picking your saving positions is going to be tricky here for 3D Max. They seem to have the right idea.
He delivers both frags, so no one really able to threaten at all. On 3D Max throughout the entirety of the round. Now GamerLegion are looking to up the tempo again, but Exorcist is ready this time with the A1S in his hands. Finds the opening frag. Rez looking for some action. Finds 1 and 2. Oh my goodness. What a play from Rez again to give his team the advantage.
Look, we were calling him out on Anubis. A little bit missing, a little bit limp. He's been anything but here. The X Factor, the commanding presence. Towson does get slapped on the nose. Trying to slip through a main. Means that this is going to be a B hit. And 3D Max, they're far back, but they are positioned for this. And timely smoke to block off the cave. Counter smoke comes back through, indicates where this is headed. A minute on the clock, but 3 defenders here for 3D Max. They're waiting with HEs. Oh my goodness, A-Core. Oh no, A-Core. Goodbye. He's alive somehow, but the flames will extinguish. At least he could get that bomb planted.
That was a crazy usage of pretty much all their utility to get rid of A-Core. Bomb is planted, and you got 2 players in cave, which is a pretty powerful position for
Oh, CTR's in trouble.
GamerLegion. Yeah.
CTR's in trouble. That incendiary clears out one. Now it's all on to Rez. They've got a good idea where he is. He takes the Molotov now, so they know. They know. And they're just getting stuck on in. Rez, he takes the one, but attempts to transfer, and Gravity is able to punish. This round is going the way of 3D Max. Talk about maximizing your util. Maka lost here. In towards Cave and Graffiti limited. He's been struggling as the primary Jaguar Cave player to get going. Would love to win this fight with Rez, but is wary about it. And Rez now spotting both players, knowing that they pulled further off. Knows he's creating a ton of space for his team, but his team are taking advantage of that in a different way. They're actually sliding onto the other site. 2 players here to sell this fake, and in the meantime, well, they've taken A.
That's a really gorgeous fake, and I mean, it keeps getting better here for GamerLegion. All the frags going their way. There was a single body. Kept fighting towards the B site, and honestly, it almost felt like, I think it's not only in his gameplay, the calling as well. You felt it really came through in that last round. The fake was beautifully done. Frags were coming through on the B site. They convinced 3D Max that it would go in that direction. It didn't. Now Towson is going to get the opener, and Acor, another GamerLegion coming alive here on Ancient, but they need to get more here as Body does find a response.
Oh, that was supposed to be the trap for PR, but he couldn't land the shot. ZTR, fortunately, corrects that mistake. But Herd getting close. Graffiti was waiting for that to spring the trap, and now... Well, this is kind of interesting, because they actually did have the space out towards A, but understandably, GamerLegion are adjusting, rotating in to try and compensate for that, and maybe even prep for the smoke pop, but they're starting to realize they've been hoodwinked. They've been bamboozled. They are befuddled. As this bomb finds its way to a plant, and Body and Graffiti will have all the chance they want
Bomb has been planted.
to pick their spots.
And those dualies long range aren't going to be great either for Towson. And realizing that, 3D Max is going to tuck themselves around corners, trying to take favorable engagements. Towson has the right idea, looking in towards default, and Acor is going to drop that body. Graffiti, last one standing, and he's going to get one. Can he get the second as well? Looks like it now. Acor, finally the hero at 3K for him in the pistol round. Does he have enough time for the defusal is the question.
Just enough, I think. Oh.
I don't know.
Yes, he's got it.
Wow. More than a chance, Mike. It's GamerLegion starting to really rock and roll here on this map, and we kind of expected it given that they've already been comfortable on it in the past. Now finding the rhythm. Acor getting a 3K, positive KDR, waiting here on the site for a chance to farm maybe a few more frags.
Now just don't whip against pistols, and unfortunately
no.
that is easier said than done. Still a teammate here to compensate. The MP9 chewing through these unarmored players like a knife through hot butter. And Maka getting churned on up like the aforementioned butter. Means that the nice start to the A control quickly becomes a bit of a nightmare. Body. What you got? Tucked in the corner. You got nothing. You've been spotted. PR catches a body. And they've got some space in towards mid. This could be interesting. ZTR just has an MP9 to defend the angle, defend the corner. Thought Acor might have rotated back into support, but there's enough noise on A that he's nervous about it. Good damage, but the kill goes the way of Lucky. And look at this nucleus moving through. It might be Tosa next up to the plate. Smoked off. Risks the spam, lets them know that he's here, takes some damage in turn. And now with the attempted approach back in towards mid, they're flashing through. They're loath to let these players out of this killing spot. But they made it through the bottleneck. And now it's cost them so very much. GamerLegion, they wanted to keep them contained in Red Room. But it turns out the rent was a little too much to pay. PR, he's going to give this a look. He's got the first. Gives himself a chance to try and take some space. We've seen him hit some nutty clutches in the past. Crisp spam and headshots. That's the name of the game for PR. But it seems like a teammate might have gotten in his ear and said, you know what? Might have to give this one up. You can understand the idea, which is that they have them contained. They know they have them stuck. They can collapse upon them. But maybe just a little bit of a mistiming between that flash through the smoke and the timing of the players up and towards mid. Might have thought they were a little closer to it. They committed. They committed, and 3D Max were prepared for it. Got a Mac 10 out here for Graffiti. Didn't need to necessarily do that. Rez finding an early opener as well makes life a little bit easier here. Okay, well, there's the upgrade. So Macton's not going to be a problem. PR deleted through the smoke.
More of a passive / retake setup. He wants to at least make first contact before he makes a decision on how to deploy himself.
They have a player up in tree. They've got a Molotov for this. If they commit the molly to the back of the boxes, Rez is in trouble. Nope, they choose big box instead.
That's an interesting decision.
Blessing to them. Now let's see. Rez has an angle. It's Towson actually, behind the boxes. And they're going to be able to capitalize. That one choice seems so minor in the moment.
I mean, look, we've got all the perspective here, so we have the advantage of looking through everything in that regard. But, you know, either way, nice shot from Rez to open things up there against Maka. It's GamerLegion who are trying to string together a couple more rounds here. Towson tested, has the answer twice, Mike, and Graviti manages to string one together, but it won't be more than that, you'd imagine, as now he's surrounded. The bullets are coming through, and he will get one more. Okay, Graviti slipping through long B. He's got to be greeted by Acor, and there it is. Acor going to give him an off bullet as a gift, and that will be the round for GamerLegion. And finally, Mike, the lead. They're choosing to give up mid, Mike.
There's no way they expect this angle. Oh, Body's aware. But it's a trade at the very least. Body had the idea, but it was sort of a half-hearted check. Still catches one off guard. The question is, was it worth it? Molotov to rumble Rez. But no one moving behind it means that Rez can safely reposition another molly. They're just trying to make him uncomfortable. But he's still finding his kills, and ZTR finds the flank.
Oh, man.
Get the juices flowing. Oh no. That kill might have just saved him. Has to deal with Towson still. 5 seconds. Ooh, they're coming for the crunch. They're coming for the crunch. There's the flashbang.
But, well, Maka took the sacrifice. Gave the gun to Exorcies.
Not having a good time here. They're going to fully commit. An AUG is out, and Rez is holding court in mid. He's got his sightlines. He's got his control, and, well, this Galil in the hands of Exorcies seems far from enough. They'll give him the space, though. They got what they wanted. They got the 5v4. They're able to slip away. They're able to slip the gap. And now play a little bit more of a default that PR will make all that much better. Might as well be a battle royale in the middle right now. As 3D Max are getting hunted. Some space in middle. This has been available to 3D Max at various points, but they haven't been able to capitalize with it once they have it.
Yeah. Last time they did was a few rounds ago when GamerLegion thought they had them bottled up, but the timing was a little off, and so was the spacing. So 3D Max were able to get all those frags. But this time, look, PR is going to get one immediately back after ZTR's drop. Body and Maka looking to slip through into CT. There is only one player on the A site, Mike, so this is a chance potentially for a bomb plant if they can isolate Acor. That's a big if. And Acor's kind of backing off. He doesn't know they're here yet because they're taking a very slow approach. But now with that util toss, he's probably going to have a peek.
Oh, eliminates the one, the second as well. None shall escape Acor's gaze.
I don't know. Util's so light here, Mike, for them. They have
tough.
no real X utility at all.
Means they're going to hit quick, which means that as soon as something gets seen, you can tell GamerLegion are expecting it to all be behind this ZTR. Lord of the Cave right now. Whoa, well, maybe Lord of missing his gun. Needs that back. A chance for the reload. As they've once again gained the advantage. Pressure on for PR. But the P and the R, they're ready for the pressure. Lucky. Cracks him under said pressure. Apparently the PR stands for Pringles. You knew that, John?
Really?
That was revealed recently. His name used to be Pringles, and he shortened it once he realized might be going pro here.
Yeah.
Nice catch for Graffiti. Opens up the possibility of this round. Pulls two players back towards mid as well, and this space allows his teammates to get the bomb down. So that kill might have just given a second life to 3D Max in this round. GamerLegion are wary of a player mid, so they spend a lot of time trying to clear this up to make sure they're not going to get surprised. That flashbang certainly is a surprise. They're exchanging guns. Meanwhile, Xyz is exchanging life. Now they'll walk back in. This is all heard from body. If they didn't already know, now they certainly do. Smoke to block one. Start to get on that bomb. Start to threaten this on the spam. They're off it. They're trying to lure them in. Body's position now revealed. Now they know where both are playing. But knowing and shooting, those are different questions. Towson, he's out of time. He knows it. This round's done. He just wants to take Graffiti with him. And no one will survive. But 3D Max at least live on here on Ancient.
Quite a few key frags. Lucky could be walking into his crosshair, Mike. I think 3D Max wants to try for this. Going dry. It's not going to work at all. PR and Rez deliver the bullets onto Lucky, and now ZTR's found Graffiti as well. Could be over here.
Could be indeed. Could be indeed. They need a hero. They need somebody to make some magic happen. It's Graffiti in the last round who found the kill that opened up the possibilities. But this time, those possibilities are looking slim to none. Tracked through the smoke. Maka gone. Falls to just these two. A smoke pop here, a tag up, and a frag to follow, and it falls to body. One man against the world of GamerLegion. They are many. And they are gaming. Body dinked. Body exterminated. GamerLegion came to play. Took them a map to find their foot in John. But now they brought us the distance. We're headed to Nuke.
GamerLegion winning the knife round. So
I see typing. I hear typing.
Oh.
Smokes out. Damage done. There's no damage done. Well, I guess it's live. We're in. Ignore the typing. Away we go. Towson, PR, A-Core chiming in with kills. Headshots landed. And it's going to be up to Exorcist to try and get this one done. No way that that's happening there.
Wow.
Complete massacre in the outer yard.
Like all the bodies there to respond on the GamerLegion side. The pistols rattling off. I mean, 4 players were watching yard. It was a nice defense, a good read coming through from GamerLegion, an adaptation based upon the util that was tossed forward. And they will get that first round. As I was saying, you know, they get that CT side start. That means A-Core can settle in with the AWP on the defensive end once they have the money to afford it. And then things could get very rosy for GamerLegion indeed. But that, of course, is dependent on 3D Max not coming through and disrupting that, which they have been very good at, in particular on their T sides. Let's see what they can do here with the Tech 9s. Well, so far, nothing at all. Towson gets 3, and ZTR drops Exorcist, leaving only Maka with a hope and a prayer, and that prayer is going to go completely unanswered. GamerLegion have a 2-0 lead.
Run on down. It's like sheepdog approach. Funnel him right back into the flank that's developing, that's slipping through from Trophy. Now, what could be coming his way? Still, they've ceded a lot of real estate here. And PR may not realize that there's a player past him already. So PR looking at the lockers, but Graffiti has gained altitude. Unless his namesake pulls him back down, now he's in a really tough spot. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Kill on the body. The bomb is down. That will need to be retrieved eventually. They wanted to leave it by the step so they'd have options to go up or down depending on what they wanted to find.
Oh jeez.
They're losing the numbers.
Flank.
Graffiti's thinking, I've got all this space. I have a crazy spot here. I know where PR is, but I need my teammates to be able to do something if I'm actually going to be able to capitalize on this. He's trying to figure out how to get this angle. Come on, go a little wider. Little wider. Little, eventually you just got to body shot him.
Yeah.
35 seconds. Let's see if this position in heaven is still so strong. And Maka from the T roof now starts to thin the herd. Numbers are whittling down. And look at where these players are trying to go. They're trying to get into hell. It's going to be so tough for them to get stuck back into this round. Both rifles here. Sorry, no, it's a rifle in the off. Flashbang to set it up. He knew his angles. But Rez still is able to overcome. And now without their guardian angel on high. Without the watchful gaze of Graffiti. The GamerLegion players will flood back into the site. A-Core with some snappy shooting as well.
So that means AK's in pretty much full util for them. And like you said, they found the space. I mean, they got in the behind enemy lines for a couple of frags, and it felt like with the control they had, they couldn't lose that round just to retake. The util too strong. Lucky's had a tough start here. to Nuke, and Graviti loses the fight up against Acor. Nice shot. Look at Rezis. He's pushed all the way up, and he finds body. Swings a little too aggressively, though. Maybe a step too far. He loses the battle to Maka, but it's still a man advantage here, Mike, for GamerLegion. Oh,
And then some. And then some. Maka's creating some space outside, but I mean, he has to do this all on himself, and he's not expecting the player. If there'd been a rifle out there, that would have been big trouble for Maka. Fortunate for him, ZTR anticipating a little bit more. Look at this space, though. Nexius, if his teammate can get back up to vents.
okay.
There's a lot of awareness of where these players are. They don't know about PR. He's the ramp player, so they're a little wary that he could have gone for the full trophy push through. Maka's risking it to get the fight, and as they peek back in, now it's a double peek, double angle. They're still wary that PR could have come through, and actually they afford him the chance to get into heaven.
I don't think they'll expect PR in heaven. It depends if they even end A. It feels like they have to with only 30 seconds left. ZTR is waiting for his opportunity to strike from vents. This is still a good setup for GamerLegion.
Now they know. Now they know, and Maka lives with 1 HP! If that nade was just a fraction closer, that could have been the round.
Bomb has been planted.
Bomb planted. ZTR is still stuck down the vents, but no one watching it, at least for the moment. ZTR has a window. An opportunity to get back up and around before they make their way to Squeak, but he's too late. Unless he still finds the kill coming off the ladder. That 1 HP coming back to bite. Still, first player off the bomb collected. PR is going to have to drop down. His position confirmed, since he's using the flashbangs well. Confirm his angles. Here comes the tap. PR's just going to stick. PR's just going to stick, but now he's been pulled. Is there time enough? There is. There is indeed. With the kit, PR has done this, clutched it up to keep the streak going. Wow. Been getting very popular. Call that the Grimfluence. Acor, this is a tough fight. This is a tough fight. Dodging the flashbang well, and he's around the corner. This is what we're talking about. Oh, dips back in, goes for the confidence game, and that will cost him. And ZTR down the vent will be taken as well. Incendiary to harass. Look at the damage. We get a chance for a clutch from the young Frenchman. Plus the one, I think, saw an elbow coming around the corner. And actually, for a moment, they thought he might have been coming back up top, so he's got a chance to open the door. But the ruse is rumbled. Slips in towards the blue boxes. Finds the first. Towson playing ahead of his teammate. Means that now this is super isolated. Raz has to bring through the clutch. He doesn't have a kit, but one's down on the site itself. Will not matter. Graviti holds strong. 4 kills to the man.
GamerLegion lose the round in 3D Max. That's a breath of life they were desperately hoping to get. Oh my god, the boost.
Snatched away, though. You finally get life back in. Rez punches you in the diaphragm. Gotta be able to build on it, right? There's nothing worse than finally breaking a streak only to immediately get stuff back into the doldrums.
I love that play from Acor as well, Mike. That confidence play. I think he has to start making those types of decisions because it'll help him be stronger in his game and force 3D Max. Think about him. Speaking of forcing someone to think about it, it's 3D Max forcing themselves upon GamerLegion with a couple of frags. Acor gets one, but it's only one, and they've got this B site.
Acor. It's all on him. It's all on him. That shot, tough. Missed. And then he is snatched out of the server. And at this point, this has to be a save for Towson. He's so out of position. The bomb is down. The clock will tick away. And 3D Max will be bringing through a second round in a row here.
All right, disrupting the defense are 3D Max. That's what they're good at. Finding a way to get into the heads of their opponents, finding the gaps in the defense, and exploiting them.
It's unusual to see for a team like 3D Max. Usually it's, I would say, often a team effort on the 3D Max front in terms of the kill column. And right now we've got little 007 action going. No head armor. And there is an A1S on the T side. So lack of hats might cost them. Those ears are looking to be clipped. That's a nice start. ZTR out of play. He's had a really good series, at least on Ancient. We don't talk about Anubis. But Rez is at least able to trade him out.
I mean, Rez has been that guy, right? We talked about it on Ancient. Now it seems like it's continuing here on Nuke. He's got 7 frags. Only behind Towson, who's got 9. You see the space that 3D Max have gained into ramp. It's kind of being given to them, but Acor's watching. Acor's watching. He gets one and only one, but PR's also by his side to ensure that the trades are good. And now a 3v2 advantage. Yes, you give up the space into the B side. Oh, but Maka makes it a 2v2. He hangs around a little bit longer. PR doesn't expect it. And now things have shifted a little bit.
He just knows. He just knows he needs to keep that pressure amplified. Chance to plant the bomb. Rez is going to risk this. In the smoke he goes. Might offset their timing, their expectations here, but thinks better of it and withdraws. Towson deleted. Head ripped from his shoulders. And now the clutch required. No kit. That's also a key difference. No kit this time around. It'll have to be the full 10 seconds so they can just buy time. Well, why bother?
More than just time. Maka does it with the rifle, with the op, everything possible here into this round. He's got it. I don't know if there's a direct translation for that. That's a good question, though. Let me think.
Any French viewers here, let us know.
Yeah.
The most French equivalent of yeehaw would be, because it seems like 3D Max might be finding a little bit of their yeehaw here on Nuke.
Oh, yeah.
They're always asking yeehaw, but they're never asking haw yee.
I think it would be the mascot for the baseball team used to be, it was called UP.
You're taking this way too seriously, John. We're into the round now. The 5-7s have found a couple of kills. The action is afoot, and Towson, someone gave him a rifle.
Oh.
And he's putting it to great effect. Forced out by a Molotov, at least for the moment, but back turn as the 5-7 strikes. It comes down to the clutch. Lucky, feeling anything but in this moment. Flashbang to get them over the lip, but Lucky, he cannot catch.
That's crazy. What work from Towson in the round of 3K, and then the 5-7 coming in on that flank was...
Ooh. Nice little pluck there from Acor. Been acquitting himself nicely. It's kind of a similar story. Lucky works his way through the smoke. Rez looking the wrong way. Smokes. They aren't walls, though it's tempting to think of them that way.
Oh.
Now the A site has been stripped of its defenders. One more remains. Acor on that scope, trying to create space for his teammate to get up the fence. Like he knows this is a possibility, but PR now painted to the corner. He's burning. He's allowed to slip away. He's allowed to escape. That could have been a massive punish. Instead, Acor trying to keep them guessing. Repositioning here, but ZTR loss means the numbers are starting to stack up against them. Body not expecting this angle. Around from Acor so far. Let's see if PR can help him capitalize. Out over the lip. The flashbang didn't reveal the player just under. At this point, Acor knows he has to slip away and keep this all for the final round. All this work, but it's all for naught.
Still a great round from Acor, despite the fact that they're unable to close it out. The first 2 he gets from Heaven, he readjusts himself to hold the mini angles. He suspects a player is going to try and slip in there and join the rest of his squad in the site. He's absolutely right for their chances at victory here on the map.
And the chance in the event as a whole as well, right?
Yes.
Huge question mark for Acor. I don't know what he'd done for them before, but certainly had been a minute. An aggressive initial look there. Slides back away unpunished, though, and the space is filled by 3D Max. Rez is peering over these smokes. But he may not realize where Body is. Oh, boy. Rez is going to be so compromised. They don't know that there's a player here in Garage. Oh, Rez has the awareness. Has the presence of mind to check for it, and Body gets collected. So now that potential trump card position is turned over on the table and revealed. That's good. GamerLegion hold that advantage.
And I think GamerLegion realizing there's not much more to that. It was just a lurk. So they got the information, they backed off of it, And now 3D Max, as opposed to having that advantage that they had a couple of times in this round, this time GamerLegion aware of their tricks. Ooh, they're going to try and move in Graffiti. Ooh.
This is looking like ZTR was thinking about opening that door. Would have been a bit of a rude surprise, but now he's throwing a little bit of a fake. This is just meant to be a distraction. Problem is ZTR sniffs it out immediately. Still does mean they're going to need to hold strong here on the upper side. They could do nothing of the sort. Great entries coming through from 3D Max. Bomb now planted. Health is dire, though, for Maka. And Lucky's not looking a whole lot better. That nade makes it easier. But Lucky forced out by the incendiary. Peppered with util. Really will need to be XFCs to give them a little bit of health backing. And it comes down to the clutch for him. Up against the off. Acor just trying to get on early. But ahead of the flashbang, it means we are all tied up here as we hit the break. 6-all. And the second half begins here, John.
It does. 3D Max getting hyped up by their coach to get back into things. All tied up, pistol round underway, body looking for frags here over in ramp, and it's actually Maka's going to get delivered the first. Little bit of team damage coming through for 3D Max, but Rez and ZTR are pounding on through to this A site, and they're going to get it under their control. The problem is they've lost all their teammates, and now it's all down to Acor, who's under a lot of pressure. He does manage to do damage against Graffiti Mike, but he's still got body to worry about as well.
It's a nice fadeaway. Now he knows where the players are, so he knows he has a gap to get this bomb planted. That's a great read and react from Acor. Gonna be able to punch in the numbers, secure at least this money. And you can see Graffiti is very nervous about going for a face. Might have played a little bit more aggressively if he weren't, you know, on 2 HP. Double doors opened. Ooh, this is cheeky. They're gonna think he's in towards control, but back behind the doors itself. Does Body account for this? Oh, now he knows. Now he's seen him get wide on it, but Body still needs to find a headshot, and he finally will. Time enough, just about, for the defuse. Oh, God, what are we doing?
I think they thought someone had a kit. Anyway, they're fine.
You faking him out. Faking him out. So, if he needs the high ground to get that USP kill, whatever it takes, Body going to be able to follow up with another, but he is chased away. Doesn't want to give up this rifle, so instead he's going to allow them to space in towards ramp. Means that a bomb plant could very likely be in the cards. Flashbang to try and threaten. Graffiti's really just trying to stall them, keep them from planting that C4 so that his teammates can get further in towards position. They can't deny this bomb plant, that's for sure, but they've got 3 players coming through from the ramp. So the question is GamerLegion going to be prepared for all this defense?
I mean, 3D Max got a good opportunity here, but PR gets one. Lucky the trade. All right, now they can start flooding on into the site. They've got the numbers. They've got the advantage in that regard. Rez, ZTR, and Acor just trying to hold the line. Time ticking away on this bomb. Rez gets overlooked in the rat hole, but Graffiti and Body do manage to collect a couple of scalps, and Acor is found out as well. Diffuser should be plenty of time for that, and it'll be 8-6 in favor of 3D Max.
Look, not the most dramatic of margins there. But they go for a half by this time. Hero rifle on Rez. We've seen this in a few rounds where they put the hero rifle on one player and they let him cook. This time, it's going to be their Swedish vet.
Yeah, I don't blame him for this decision. Rez has been so very good for them. He's taking opening duels effectively, and he's going to do the same thing here. Up against Graffiti, loses that duel, but the AK is right there to be picked up, unfortunately for Towson. Lucky does manage to get one, but ZTR drops from top of Mini, gets 2, and Acor capitalizing to Lucky. We're down to a 2v2 out of seemingly nothing. GamerLegion will lose another. It's Acor. PR gets it right back, Mike. This is chaos, but PR is dropped immediately afterwards. The trades are phenomenal from both sides, and it's a war of attrition that 3D Max wins.
But that was just the hero rifle. That was supposed to be the easy round. Now they got the guns. ZTR still on the techie. That's a sacrifice they made to have Rez have an AK in the last. And XLCs on the XM. XMLCs they call him. Towson collects on the first. Space opened up here in the outer yard. There's going to be Body peering on from heaven. Damage onto Towson. but they're still taking this space. ZTR has not slowed down in the slightest. Some of the graffiti lost. Now A-Core starting to find the room. Body's in trouble. I don't think he realizes how close these players are. Well, it doesn't matter because PR kills him from below. So now they have everything. They have everything, John. They have all the control.
Oh, yeah. The other two players are towards the B site for a 3D Max. And this is a save for sure. They don't even look interested in getting back towards A. They know they've lost the round. All 5 players still alive for GamerLegion. It's just everyone combining there for GL. Coming through, getting the openers. And the space they absolutely needed to strike in this second half. The first round they picked up, but what's important for them is, yes, that previous round went 3D Max's way, but you only had 1 survivor on the CT side, meaning the economy was very rough coming into this one. And you see it, the numbers, $0 for Lucky and Maka, and only 50 for Extra C. So these guns are really important to save. A-Core around the corner wins the fight, so the op is gone. And, well, A-Core doesn't manage to get Extra C's as well, but there could be a player hot in his tail. In fact, it's the bomb that's hot in his tail. It will drop him. No gun saved through. A little bit of a smoke pop coming through there, but no visibility from 3D Max means they might know this is coming in towards the A side on inner. XRC's burning alive in that utility. Does manage to survive long enough to get one, despite the fact that he's blinded. Eventually traded out here. Maka's trying to have an impact with the AWP. Drops all the way down to the site, exposing himself to the rifles. And he does still get the up-close shot with the op, but will be traded immediately. 3v2 with Lucky trying to eat with the numbers once more. It'll be actually Body who does that. 2v2, Mike, they're jumping onto the site now. A 1v1.
Does he know how much damage has been done? Goes to the sidearm, so seems to be likely. Could just go back to the rifle. Yeah, plenty of bullets in this gun. Oh, headshots are bust, so PR's trying to play the angle for it. Spots, knows that Body is out, but does he want to go for the swing? Predictive fire, but Body can catch the kill. Still, because that comes down to the clutch, right? The money is not good. It's just so tough to sustain the defense here with limited weaponry. And A-Core, hell of a shot. Takes out Maka, his counterpart. That's actually reminiscent of Anubis, where every time those two came up in a head-to-head duel, it was Maka who took it. This time, A-Core, the res, finds himself plucked with that op all the same. Lucky's hands on the scope. Maybe that'll change his fortunes. And look at this. There's no defenders on A. There's nothing on A. 3D Max are taking some risks, and in the meantime, GamerLegion are poking their nose out of the hut and realizing, oh, this is for me? This is my bomb site?
I mean, I think ZTR is getting the call as well. They're saying, no, don't fight any more there. Come back to the A site. No one's home. That's exactly what ZTR is going to try and do here.
Genuinely, this is such a weird situation, but it almost feels like this might just be a save. Even more so, now that these kills are coming through.
Definitely.
But they were just so out of position. They took a risk. They took a huge gamble, betting they'd be outside or lower, and, well, as we can see, it did not pay off. GamerLegion looked like they want to pressure that A side again. They found empty space here. Gonna see if it's just as inviting. Not quite, but the flashbangs are good. The utility is good. XLC's on the edge of the smoke, though. He's not going to realize that Rez has already wrapped a smoke pop. Perfect timing coming through. Calling for that nade. And these two players forced out in towards heaven. Can they even get stuck back in? They're dropping down. They're just trying to survive. But that kill outside, now that's going to invite them into the retake. PR wanted to end it.
I don't know.
But in taking that fight, he might have just invited them into the retake.
There's no kits though, Mike. And, you know, you have a gun on the ground here for Body. It's so valuable. Your economy's so low.
They're taking your advice, John. They're backing away. Discretion, the better part of valor. They're stepping out of this one. 11 rounds. GamerLegion slide into the lead, and that money is in shambles.
It's just that, again, you're putting yourself in a very difficult situation should you lose this round.
Yeah, you've now committed to never having a proper buy.
Yes.
Unless you can win. And that makes it a whole lot easier. A second tag as well. Kills found. Player already down the vent. Maka taking a risk here. Not on the angle. Can't find it in time. And Body forced back in towards control. Trying to break the windows just to stay alive. Here in the windowsill, dropping down
awesome.
as Towson peaks. Relentless here from the young gun. But the numbers still in their favor on the 3D Max side. This bomb destined to be planted. And Towson has been a nightmare for them to deal with all map long, but especially in this round. You know, they got them contained. ZTR wants to try and find a little bit of space, but his footsteps given up. Graffiti, what does he decide to poke out? Well, it's Lucky instead who makes the inroads. On Towson smoked. Towson spotted. Information gained and confirmed. They can get stuck onto this defuse, and there's little that can be done. He needs the peek. He knows it, but he's got it. That might have just won the round.
Can't get him.
That might have just done it. He turtles up. The ace on deck just needs to find this spray in the smoke. Just needs to track the diffuser, but he can't. He can't do it. He can't find Lucky. He'll find the ace, but the round eludes him.
Oh man, he's frustrated for sure. I mean, he felt like he did everything right, and it's just that last piece of util, that last smoke that comes in to save the day for 3D Max, sticking the defusal. What a phenomenal start for 3D Max, and an even better response from Towson, who comes in and does so much damage. As you mentioned, the ace coming through in a losing effort, but he played that pretty much as perfectly as you can. Again, like, the economic struggles are not going to end here for 3D Max because they lose every single body. And again, one wrong move here for 3D Max, and they're looking at a very tough buy-up in that last round.
Smoke fades everything. The smoke fade is everything.
It is.
Players are stacked up on both sides. It's all about this fight. And Rez tips it in their balance. Look at the damage, though. ZTR and A-Core are so low. Players already getting down the vent. You've already got Maka down lower.
They're trying to bait them.
And Exorcist no longer has a Mag 7. He's found an upgrade with that drop-down AK, but Towson is looking for this space. Oh, how does he turn? How does he turn? The trade is there. The trade is there, and that was one of the healthy players, but still, his teammates have come in from the heavens. This nade to harass. If there was any util for Exorcist, he could do so much damage, but there's not. And so on high, Rez peers over the smoke to see the path forward for GamerLegion, and he might just have sealed the round. Maka spots. Now he can get in towards heaven. There's still time. There's not much, but there is still time. With an AK gain, a flashbang over. He wants to try and be the hero in this moment.
No.
Thinks better of it. Doubts himself. Withdraws of two minds. At this point, the time is gone. The clock is gone, and your AK is just too valuable. Nervous about the hunt. Panicked. Jittery. It is going to be GamerLegion to find map point. A chance to close here.
If your GamerLegion on your T side is open up rounds effectively and get that space that you need to work into the bomb sites. And, you know, while it does get a little bit hairy at the end for Maka, I think he might have overstepped a little bit by trying to keep them on the bomb site. I think that was his plan, but it didn't really matter that much for the economy of GamerLegion. It was more important for him to walk away with that AK. And you could also argue he's trying to make sure no one's on his tail, but, you know, someone could have peeked him. He could have been dead. Oh, no, this is not going well. Maka loses the fight with A-Core, who's been another important piece here for GamerLegion with that AWP 5v4, Mike.
Who else to open up what could be the final round of play here than the stand-in? The man who hasn't played an official yet this year. The man who's found his footing with this AWP in this series. He's been shaking off the rust and making it happen here. They've got a Krieg watching outside. Peering from on top of the silo. With Graffiti just underneath, starting to take up the space. This could get interesting. He's found the gap, he's found the time, he's found the space. And he hasn't been perceived in doing so. So if they could contain these players in towards Squeak at all, that'd be miraculous. But Graffiti instead, he's going to delete ZTR as he tries to set up the util. The Mag 7 rings out, but it distracts from the rifles. And now it's onto a 2-on-2. And from on top of the hut, Body brings it through. But PR finds the final kill he needs. GamerLegion are going through. It couldn't end any other way in this series. It had to go down to the final players. It had to go down to the clutch. It had to be the utter chaos between these two teams.